What's up, guys? It's your boy Adoption here, bringing you guys a video on GWENT, the Witcher card game. And this is honestly, it's a really addicting game. It's really fun. Everybody says it's got a big Hearthstone slash like Magic the Gathering feel to it, which I can agree to. But you know what? This game is just, it's ridiculous. It's fun. And yeah, so here's my QUEENSGUARD deck build. I hope you guys enjoy. Alright guys, so you guys can see here for our bread and butter, obviously it's QUEENSGUARD, so we got to rock the 3 QUEENSGUARD copies. Obviously, you guys will know as to why. I mean, QUEENSGUARD, once you deploy 1, you resurrect all QUEENSGUARDs from your graveyard, and you guys will see why stacking this is pretty insane. Then we have 2 Savage Bears. I thought about running 3, but it didn't work out. It didn't cut it to how I liked it. So I was like, you know what? I'm just only going to put 2 because then it oversaturates it. And, you know, we're already at the 30 card limit, which most people like to keep it to 25. So we're already pushing it right now. So to follow, we have, you know, Pirate Captain. Boost this unit by 1 wherever it is and whenever you discard a unit. So the way that I use this is that obviously it's supposed to work in tandem with the Dynam Pirate, because when you summon 1, it discards the other 2. So that already gives him a buff. And then we have other cards that allow us to discard and everything. And usually by round 3, Pirate Captain could be up to 11 base power, which is it's a pretty big hitter. So then now we have the on-crate Raider. I just used 1 copy because of which one was it? I believe, yeah, because of Savarage. I don't ever know how to say his name, but yeah, I pretty much just use him with that. Or if I happen to have all the QUEENSGUARDs and Ceres in my hand or in the graveyard already, and I pop my my leader ability, I usually just use him to go ahead and, you know, it's a free summon, so why not? Now again, we have the Dynam Pirate, and that's just so that way when we summon 1, we thin out the deck by taking 2 out. And of course, everyone's going to say, well, you wouldn't need that if you know you did like 25 cards instead of 30. But by round 3, these guys are usually around 9, 8 or 9, depending on what I buff them with. And then, of course, we got to have the Igni. You know, it's a good counter whenever your enemies start stacking. I know a lot of Nilfgaard usually stack up on 1 to 3 characters. So especially with the brigades are really good to take out with this, because they all obviously will usually have all the same power when they're spammed at once. And so you just play Igni and boom, you already burn all 3. So it's just a big hitter. It's an essential. Then of course we have Ceres, who she's our kind of like a resurrection backup, or resurrect backup. And obviously, when you play her with the QUEENSGUARDs, every time you revive, it obviously gives you a +6. So it's really nice to have, especially when you can buff her with Dreg Bondu. And then lastly, here for this top row, we got Yaldmar? I can't, dude. All these names, man. All these names. Anyway, most people already know why. He's base of 15, but then he spawns a Lord of Unvik on the other side of the field, and Lord of Unvik only has 5. So you usually use him with Holger Blackhand. I mean, I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys have seen this meta already, but it's smart, it's easy. Why not? And as soon as you kill Lord of Unvik, this dude jumps up to 25. That's a huge hit. That's amazing. And because he's a gold, he can't really be targeted, so that's awesome. And of course, mid-row, again, we usually use these 3 to help thin out the deck, because if we have a bear out, bear already damages somebody, whoever someone's on the other team. And then you just pull out one of her. Obviously, you attack. It leads into another one, leads into another one. Really nice. And then there should be no explanation as to why we have Operator in here, because, you know, choose a bronze unit in your hand, and then you create a base copy in both players' hands. And as long as they're not running QUEENSGUARD, it's not really going to benefit them at all. And it gives you 4 copies. And if you have 4 copies and you summon them all out from, or if you summon 1 and it pulls the 3 out from the graveyard, that's an instant. That's usually an instant for Ceres. Now, of course, we got to run the triple priestesses, you know, because that's a free resurrect on all of them. And, you know, why not? The goal of this is to constantly keep bringing back Queensguard if she gets killed or anything like that, so that's good. And then these two, I've thought about taking them out. I haven't really tested them with that. They're a nice freebie 2 boost. And, I mean, usually you could just cycle off of these guys. If anything, I would say out of all of these cards that I have in here, I would definitely take these out if you guys don't like the rest of them. But I like having 2. I don't like, as you guys can see, running 3 of a copy is a big deal, and you know, I have like 4 sets of 3s. So yeah. Then right here we have Sigdrifa, I don't fucking know. Again, ridiculous name. Resurrect a unit from your graveyard. Now, because she's a silver frame, or you know, rare, or however you want to call it, she can resurrect other silver frames too. And I like to use her to usually bring back Dregbondu, or you know, just another Queensguard, because, you know, why not? And then, of course, Dregbondu, because you got to have Dregbondu. Strengthen 2 units in your graveyard by 3, so obviously you use him to buff up 2 of your Queensguards. And then Holger Blackhand, again, you deploy, damage a unit by 5 if it's destroyed. Strengthen the highest unit in your graveyard by 3. So that's kind of hard, because usually I think he usually buffs these guys. He usually buffs the pirates. But if you end up using him in round 3, typically your Queensguards should be stronger. And then, of course, we have this one. I mean, it's a draw, and, you know, it's an easy discard. So if he's in your hand, you get a free summon. And then 2 Clear Skies. I never like to run 3 Clear Skies with this, just because Clear Skies, 9 times out of 10, everyone uses Rally. And you guys can see, I mean, I have these 3, which I want to save for Queensguard in case if anyone kills her. And then if I have all Queensguards out and I'm pretty much good, then I'll usually use them on the pirate. Then, of course, we have Decoy. Return an ally to your hand, strengthen it by 3, and then play it. So, obviously, that's technically, if you use it right, you'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 resurrects, because you use this on one of your mages. And, of course, we have Ragnarug. I mean, you know, Gold Weather, OP. I do have Drought, but Ragnarug was my first, so I just stuck with it, and it works. It's just awesome. I love it. So just a quick recap on pretty much how the playstyle goes is that you want to make sure, usually in turn 1, you just have 1 Queensguard in your hand. Don't oversaturate yourself and have more, because the more that you have, because you're wanting to kind of wait. I mean, I like to only have 1 in my hand. Usually only like to have 1 of him in my hand. If I have him on first turn, I'm pretty good, because then again, first turn I'll be able to mill those 2 out, and it'll buff him no matter where he's at, so that's good. And then if I have Bear, so this is where it kind of gets more player-based, but it's your choice. I usually like to save my Bears for the last round, or if you want to do them in your first round, you lead with Bear, so that way you could damage your opponent if you have these ladies in your hand. So then that way you can just pull them out, damage, obviously, mill those 3, then you can mill him, and then it's really nice. Excuse me. So if you have 1 Queensguard in your hand and you have 2 in your deck, then that's usually round 1 or 2. You proc your leader ability, so you're gonna discard these 2 in your deck with Ceres. You always want to make sure that Ceres gets put into your graveyard, so that way her counters can start. And yeah, and then just focus on Operator, on cloning your Queensguards. And I'm pretty sure I'm gonna go ahead and I'll do in a separate video on how to handle anti-meta, you know, anti-Queensguard decks. A lot of them are like Monsters Consume or Nilfgaard with medics. And yeah, so I'll show you guys that in a different video, but I really hope this helped you guys out. Please let me know what you guys think. I know there's not really too much of a variation in a lot of these decks, and that's usually, you know, just because we only have technically a cap of like 300 some odd cards, and then obviously there's another 300 because of the animated cards. But anyway, I hope this helped you guys out. Please let me know down in the description or comment section what other decks you would like to see. I have like tons. I have tons and tons and tons of decks. So yeah, all of them I'm playing with, building. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know what faction you want. and I'll talk to you guys later.